Ladies and gentlemen, we have another episode. We have another episode of Brandon Lawrence's Sixth Period. We have a very special episode. I have a few guests here with me today. We're gonna get down to the origin of tipping. Um, was it last week? I put out a post of do you like tipping? And everybody assumed I don't tip. Let me disclaim, I do tip. I do tip, but if I'm being completely honest, I don't understand why we tip. But I brought on a couple of guests to explain the origin of tipping. Benzi, let everybody know what it is you do. What you do out here, brother.
What's going on, man? Yeah, like I said, my name is Benzi, and so I have a DJ entertainment business, mobile DJ and entertainment business. I do a lot of bar mitzvahs, birthday parties, graduation parties, weddings, all type of things like that. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I have my own company and do parties in COVID before every weekend, but usually every weekend.
Okay, that's what's up. My man Chaz, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Doing good. Hey guys, name's Chaz. I own a restaurant down here in Wisconsin. It's called Els Pigs Butt BBQ. Been doing that for about 3 years now.
Okay, that's what's up. Now, where's your restaurant located, Chaz?
My restaurant is located in Kewaskum, Wisconsin. It is about 45 minutes from Milwaukee, about an hour and a half from Green Bay, and about 2.5 hours from Chicago. So it's like right in this good area.
Okay, cool. So now listen, I knew I was bringing some people that's in the profession of service, right? So I decided to look up the history of tipping, and I found out that it started medieval times. The history of so you guys know, I got my notes. I did my homework. I did my research. It started in the medieval times where rich people would tip, the poor a little more. If you brought food or you cleaned the horse or whatever it is that you did, you tipped them a little extra, and it kind of like trickled in. It wasn't too earlier 1900s where certain states have created laws where they use the tipping as income. And what I found out, I actually went to the Cheesecake Factory last night, and I had like a 20-minute conversation with a waitress, and I said, "Hey, listen, I got this restaurant owner coming on here. I want to make sure I'm educated on tipping." So, Chaz, I'm going to start with you. What I found out was in California, the waitress, anybody in the service, they still get paid minimum wage, although they get tipped. However, they have to report a certain amount of their tips. That's in California, but she did say in other states there's different laws. You got the floor.
All right. So the waitress you spoke of, if that waitress is getting a minimum wage, this is how it works. She has to report her whole sum that she makes that night, not just the credit card sum, so she won't get taxed as much. That's against the law. Second of all, waitresses get sectioned off to about 2 or 3 tables per night off of a 4 or 5 hour shift. And it's up to them to flip those tables to bring home money. And here's a downfall. The bussers get paid minimum wage. At the end of the night, they have to tip out the bussers. The bartenders can make, from $5 to $10 to $15, depending on the establishment or how great the, that bar or that restaurant is.
Right.
And now the servers also have to tip out the bartender because they make their drinks. So the bussers probably get 2 to 5%, depending on the food total to the busser, because the busser is taking their food out, cleaning their tables for the server. And then the bartenders get range from like maybe 4 to 8% off of liquor totals because the bartender is making their drinks for them. So not only they don't get all those tips. Say if a server, works 4 hours and brings home 90 divided by 4, That's good wages right there. You're making what, $15 to $18 per hour, but now you're gonna get deducted for tipping out everyone at night. And some restaurants actually you tip out the cooks for the cooks making your food. So there's a lot of different variables that a lot of people don't understand. And literally here, the minimum wage for a server is $2.35 per hour. And
okay, wow.
And if they don't make their per hour, I have to pay them minimum wage, which is $7.85 per hour if they don't make their tip outs.
Okay, wait a second. Not to cut you off. Wait a minute. So let me get some clarification. So if I'm in Wisconsin and let's say I'm working and I'm making $2.35, right?
Yes.
And this table that I'm serving, they don't tip me. That means you have to now make up for that $5 to make minimum wage.
It's a total at the end of the night.
At the end of the night.
It's just not off of one table.
So okay, so go ahead. So
if a server took, 3 tables the whole night, it's just been a slow night, and she takes home, the average ticket was like $40. So what is that? Maybe $20, $25, maybe if the customers were generous. She worked 4 hours. That she didn't make her minimum wage. She was under minimum wage, so I have to pay her minimum wage on her check.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's that, and then plus all the goddamn tip outs. Excuse my language.
Right now, you good. This is an adult show. You can curse. It's an adult show. You're good.
But
okay. Wow.
I think I have a buddy. He works at Texas Row House in California, making $5.50 as a server. I think it goes by companies in California, depending on how they want to pay their employees. Because I have another buddy that works in a bar over there making $11 per hour, but he's allowed to take home tips as well. A bar and a restaurant is kind of different because you don't have the big ticket items like a restaurant though.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, Benzi, you're not in the food service, but
Correct.
you're still in the field of servicing. You provide an entertainment service, and we're in a similar profession because I do comedy. I tell jokes, so I always look at it as, hey, you might be having a bad day, and if I tell these jokes and I made you get off the ledge. Probably you said, you know what, fuck it, I'm about to jump off this fucking ledge, but this dude just told some jokes and it made me. So, do you think that you deserve to be tipped?
So I'll put it like this. I have a set rate for what I do. Mm-hmm. So the set rate, let's say I'm doing a wedding. My set rate for that wedding covers from the time I start my service playing my music to the time I cut off my music. That's what you're paying the set rate for, right? And everything I do in between that time. Now, what I do above and beyond is what I expect a tip on. Meaning I come to people's houses and sit down and meet with their families and see what type of vibe I get from them to help plan it out. I do run sheets for them. I help build playlists with some of their guests. And I talk to sometimes their party planner to see if I can get in contact with people who are doing like special songs or special presentations during the wedding. When weddings are very chaotic before they start. People don't see this part of it. But as the DJ and MC, my job is to make sure to keep that bride happy. A lot of people think it's the party planner, but no, it's the MC DJ, because at the end of the day, people are not going to see the wedding planner. They're always going to see the MC DJ. I'm the one with the microphone in my hand. They're going to come after me. So what I'm expecting a tip on is the above and beyond service that I do offer. Now, if I give you the basics where like, I don't care if it's a mess, that's not my job, don't tip. But if I'm going above and beyond for you and going out of my way, spending time to do all this stuff, a lot of weddings start late. If I'm there trying to keep the crowd, from getting antsy and all this stuff, hey, I expect some type of tip.
Now, Benzi, do people tip? Because I listen, I've told a lot of jokes, and I have yet to have somebody come up to me and be like, "Hey, you know what? You were funny. Let me tip you. Let me buy you a drink." Or no one tips a comedian, and that's cool. That's cool because I consider my tips. The laughs. But with you, has someone came up to you and was like, "Hey, man, you kept us rocking all night. Here's an extra 20. Here's a. Has it ever happened for you?
Oh, all the time.
Mm.
All the time. And I'll say that it's unfortunate to say this. It's more culturally normal to get tipped from other races other than Black people.
Oh, niggas is cheap. I'll say it. I'll be the bad guy. I'll be the bad guy. It's cool. I'm built for it.
Yeah.
I'll say it. I got you. I'll say it for you.
A lot of my clients, and here's the crazy part though. When I do clients for Black folks, they want you to go far above and beyond. They want you to do everything and don't tip. But when I have my white Caucasian clients and my Jewish clients, my Asian clients, I'm talking about big tip, couple $100 tips. Yeah, yeah.
Sound like I need to start DJing.
Yeah, really.
I need to start DJing. Now, Chaz, let me ask you this: in the service business, right? You hear when I put this post out, bro, I kept hearing a lot of people say, well, if I get good service, I'll tip. Right. And I'm like, okay. But to me, if you hire me to, wait at your establishment, I'm not going in there saying, well, I'm just going to do the bare average. No, I'm going to provide great service regardless if it's a tip or not, because that's just the type of person I am. So my question to you is, do you believe in that hey, if I provide good service, I should be tipped? Or do you think people should just, you should just tip regardless?
Let me break this down for you guys.
Okay.
You at home, when you at home cooking your own meal, you're doing everything.
Absolutely.
It's a lot cheaper to eat indoors than go out. Plain and simple. But when you go to a restaurant or to any establishment, the customer service starts when you open that door. They're greeting you. They're sitting you down. They're filling up your drinks. They're writing what you want, on a menu, like pretty much writing your food down. And there's a lot of people out there are very, very, very picky. So they have to put up with that. They're putting up with your attitude. They're putting up with your disrespect. Customers are out there like that.
Yes, they are.
And not only that, the server's being very attentive to ensuring you have everything you need for that occasion you came in for. Pretty much, I tell my servers, you're their servant, straight out. That's what
that's the business. No, it's true.
Your job is to make that couple or that individual having their best day when they come to this establishment, because they took their time to come get off their couch, jump in their car, and drive to us. So our duty, our job in customer service is to provide that. So if you get bad service, should you tip? I say yes, 15% for decent service. And it's not hard to apply decent service. If your hostess or your server or your bartender just complete garbo, just doesn't care about you there, period, then make the decision, be like, you know what, here's 5%, or don't tip, but write on the receipt explaining why, so they can get understanding why they're not getting paid out.
Wow. Okay, so wait a second, Chaz, because you just dropped the bomb. You just I don't
Yeah,
know if you
did.
realize that you just dropped the bomb. You're saying that as a customer, if I got bad service, I should write on the receipt and say, I'm not tipping you because your service was trash.
A lot of people don't understand. Not just the customer service is applied, but the food as well. If the food is just terrible, you ask them to fix it and keep on coming out terrible. The waitress or the server would have nothing but attitude. It just never came to your table. Why then now you question yourself. Why should you tip an individual if that's the reason why they came to that establishment for that service? Yes, I understand. I understand what I said, and I understand what the backlash can happen on this comment. But it's like, you should not just give your hardworking money to that you worked hard for to an
True.
individual that did not
That's
deserve
very
it.
true.
But if the individual did deserve it, I always tip 20 to 25% for good service. If it was amazing, then man, show your gratitude. Show how thankful you are, because we're only country that middle class can live luxury. So show your appreciation. Show how thankful you are.
And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, Chaz. I'm gonna say this about waiters. It's a funny story. You just reminded me. The waiters are getting clever because they're starting to like leave little notes on the bottom of the receipt. I remember I was at a restaurant. Hey, Benzi, I was at a restaurant one time.
Guys and waiters, that's the company.
Okay. And so that's something that okay, cool. Because she was like, she put, "Thank you, cutie," and I was gonna leave her like a $3-4 tip. She got $10 just for that compliment.
She played her cards, right?
Hey, she did it. And I'm just I'm like, yo. So look, I agree with you. If the service is good, then you should tip. I just, again, disclaimer, everybody, I do tip. I just, it's just like, yo, if I'm paying for, all right, let's say I go to a restaurant and the steak costs $60, whatever. It's a $60 steak. Cool. $60 steak.
You walked in there.
Yes, and I get it. But it's like if I can't afford to tip socially, should I be looked at as like, yo, look at this cheapskate? What if I've been working all time? What I'm saying is, what if I've been working all week and I got enough money to pay my rent, pay my light bill, pay my water, pay my car note, pay my insurance, and I just mustered up $60 just to afford me a good meal at a good restaurant. If I'm only able to tip you $2, will you be offended?
If I didn't know you, yes.
Yes. See, and see, that's the thing that
I'm applying all that into that table, in that certain individual, and not get paid for it after you knowing how much that individual makes per hour. So it gets. I seen servers cry just cry because a $140 table got stiffed.
Yeah, see, I feel you on that.
We have to care about your well-being and what you're doing, or you're there, or to apply that service. If we didn't care, then of course you won't have a wonderful experience at any establishment.
I feel you. Benzi.
I was going. Can I weigh in on that just a little bit?
Because Benzi, I'm about to give you the same question, and you got it.
Yeah.
If I hired you, let's say your rate is $200 for 3 hours. That's all I got. That's all I got. I don't have money to tip you. I gotta pay all this and like that. Are you gonna feel disrespected if I didn't tip you and you went all out? Like you kept the party rocking. And I tell you, hey man, hey, thank you. And
that's happened to me. That's actually happened to me. And I think I don't feel offended. I feel offended when a person is a difficult person, that's probably leading up to the event, the person is very difficult, or the person is asking me to stay longer and work longer and do all this extra stuff that's not a part of what I really do. You're asking me to do all of this, and then you are not tipping at all, and like you're telling me, oh, this is so wonderful, so great, everyone loved it. Thank you for doing this extra for me, and thank you for doing that extra for me, and finding this song and downloading, getting this at the last minute. But then you don't tip me. I'm like, man, that kind of hurts.
So Benzi, what would you say to a person, right? And God rest her soul, like my grandmother, God rest her soul, because I've seen her done some stuff, and I'll be like, yo, I'm only 10, but I know you ain't supposed to tip that much. She tipped like a quarter, and I was like, yo, I'm only 10. I know you're not supposed to do that. Like that ain't cool. But what would you say to a person who tells you like, well, you charge me $300 or $400, however much you charge, and this is what I expect? What would you say to that person? Hey, I expect you to do a great job.
Hey, that's part of what I bring. Part of what I bring is a great job. I'm gonna bring you my best each and every time, regardless if I know you're gonna tip or not gonna tip. Like I said, most of my brothers, they don't tip, you know, like
Right.
other people. But I'm gonna give them 110% all the time. I'm gonna always give 110% regardless, and give
You
them
have
top
to.
notch service.
Absolutely. Annalisa is just
Yes,
joining us.
sir.
She runs a very I've been here, so I can speak on this. Her food is top notch. She runs a soul food joint off of, if anybody's listening, it's off of Fairfax. What is that? Is that Olympic? Is that the Cross Street Olympic, Annalisa?
Yep, 1066 South Fairfax.
Right
Ooh.
between Olympic. What's the busiest Olympic and what?
And Pico. And
Right.
Pico.
That's okay. Cool. Next to Hanson's, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just to fill you in, now Chaz he runs a restaurant in Wisconsin. So Wisconsin laws are a little different. And he explained to me, if I'm ever in Wisconsin, Chaz, I am tipping. And I'm gonna tip graciously. Thank you.
Hey, if you don't, I'll serve you. I got you on that food and drinks already.
I understand the tipping in Wisconsin. Benzi runs a DJ entertainment business. So, you know, he expects, correct me if I'm wrong, Benzi, he expects if I go all out with finding songs and doing the works, keeping the party jumping, he expects to be tipped.
You got it, man. That's right.
Correct. Okay. Annalisa, now
Yes,
with in California,
Uh-huh.
I just went to a restaurant last night. I just told the fellas this. I went to a restaurant last night, Cheesecake Factory, and I spoke with the waitress and I asked her about tipping. And she explained in California, she gets paid minimum wage. However, she has to report her tips. She also has to split her tips, Chaz, with the bus with the bus boy and everything. So what I'm asking you is, how important is tipping in California?
Well, I think it's vital, especially right now. So many food service workers, waitresses, whatever you call them, have been out of work because restaurants have been out of work, you know, merely doing to go. And these are minimum wage workers, usually, you know, with an interest in something else, just trying to make a living. And if you look at what minimum wage is, I think it's $14. And then you take 30% of that away, that's what they're making per hour. And that's not a living wage. So if people tip, even classic in a restaurant, 18 to 20% for great service, people don't see to go as being great service, but it's more frustrating to have a mistake once you get home versus having a mistake in a restaurant that we can fix right away.
I agree with you. And that's funny she said that, because I ordered DoorDash this morning and they forgot something. To go or those type of orders is I think is extremely hard, because if you forget, I'm stuck with that. And I done already tipped you and all that, and I'm mad. I'm extremely mad because I don't check my food. If I come to any of you guys' restaurant and I say, hey, I want this, that, and I call it in, I expect it to be there. I don't check it. I expect, you know, Annalisa, here, let's start with you.
Yes.
Do you have any funny stories about tipping with servers where you have to keep your composure, have you ever wanted to go off on a customer like, yo, shut the fuck up, you don't even want to tip me, this, that? Chaz is shaking his head like,
I have to tell you that I have so many really nice clients, and I think the ones that don't tip just don't understand the value of it, and you can't punish somebody or treat somebody bad because they don't know any better. You know, if their parents don't teach them how to tip and other people they hang out don't tip, then it becomes standard across the board. I mean, we have some guys that, you know, maybe grew up with a little bit more in life and understand the value of a tip, that tip really well. And then you have others that are the nicest people, will come chat with you every day, but they'll never leave you a dime.
Mm,
So
that's interesting.
it is interesting because those people who really do value your service and have those great conversations, those could easily be the ones that just don't even put two and two together about packing a bag, making sure everything's in there, all the sides are right, or whatever little details. And that is still customer service. Like, even if you walk to the table with a bag instead of plates, we're carrying it out to you. But just because, again, they don't realize that servers live off tips.
Servers live off tips. Okay. Chad, same question to you. How do you, have you ever had to experience that?
My 3 years, I told one customer off, and it was just because they were straight disrespectful, and I told them, just don't come back to this establishment. But that's the first time I ever broke out of 3 years, and to this day I still can't sleep because of that. And
do tell.
Well, it was a six top. It was on Friday night. Here, fish fry is like the thing.
Okay.
These folks love fried food.
Okay.
So they every Friday they come out for fish. It was a horrible night, as in you're really there to survive. And she'll tell you there's some nights there you on just pilot and you just trying to survive the night. And it was a 45-minute wait time. I let the customers know it was gonna be a 45-minute wait time for a table and about 35 minutes on top of that for food. So it's gonna be a little hour and a half before I can actually give your food to you. They say fine, they'll go at the bar, they'll drink, and if they can order at the bar and have the food come out quicker, sure, I'll do the best I can to accommodate you. And we did that. We did. But they just decided to be disrespectful halfway through because they decided not to wait anymore. So they kept on being disrespectful to the server, kept on bringing food back, which was perfectly fine. Just it piss us off, and just so they can get you have those customers that want discounts on their items, and they came out there to do that. So what happened was, one, I went over there and apologized, as a owner should, regardless if you're wrong or not, because you still want their money.
Absolutely.
So Absolutely. I apologized. I gave them a 25% discount on their bill. And
wait a minute, you didn't give them the standard 10%?
No, I gave them 25%. Because even though it wasn't our fault for the wait, it's not our fault that we had customers coming into the door. Well, we serve great food, so I can't complain on that.
Yeah, that's a good problem.
It was a good problem to have, and some customers will understand that and be glad, especially in a small family restaurant, that you're busy and they understand. Some customers just want it now, and they want to eat, they want to drink now, and then they want it now, plain and simple. So after I did that, he had a plate right in front of him. I went to the table 4 times, and my server went to the table 5 times to apologize to ensure everything was okay before we gave the bill. After I gave the bill with 25%, he's like, "This meal was bad. You didn't ask me why all the food was on my plate still." I was like, "Okay, what was wrong with it? It's just bad." He wouldn't explain to me why it was bad. But he wanted that whole meal discounted after I gave him a 25% discount and swiped his credit card.
Yeah, get the fuck out.
So I just looked down. I was like,
straight up.
I broke down. I was like, I've been dealing with you for about 35 minutes, dealing with the disrespect. And you're yelling in my dining room and, making all the customers around you awkward. I was like, just don't come back to the establishment if we can't accommodate you the way you want. I was like, what you did right here was wrong. Why didn't you tell me that you wanted this meal discounted before I ran your credit card? You handed me your credit card.
Right.
Meaning, okay, swipe it. That's okay. Once you hand your credit card off, you giving that server, that busser, whoever's taking your credit card, the okay to swipe that bill. And he just wasn't going to have it. So I literally had to escort him out of the restaurant, which he's big in the community around here, but I'd rather not have him here if he's just going to be disrespectful to the customers and the servers.
Absolutely. And what's funny is I've always been the type that I never want to get disrespectful with anybody that's handling my food. even if you guys are wrong, I try to be the most respectful because that's a fear of mine. I don't know what you're doing behind that wall with my food. So I try to be the most respectful. Benzi, real quick with you, have you ever done an amazing job and someone just was like, all right, dude?
Well, a funny story. I was doing a bar mitzvah for a kid. So mind you, these are kid parties. They're normally wealthy Jewish kids parties, and
Bar mitzvah.
so yeah, bar mitzvah. So yeah, and they go all out for these bar mitzvahs. I mean, they spend like 50 grand on this party. They spend a lot of money, right? So for these kids, right? It's really they say it's to impress their friends. That's really what it's not really about the kids. But anyway, so the whole time leading up to this party, the mom of the kid was just, she was a jerk. Like she was terrible. She was rude. She wanted like stuff. She kept asking for stuff for free. Like we have an add-on light package, add-on smoking. She's like, well, I don't want to pay for that. I want that for free. And we're like, well, you can't have these are different packages that you can get. So she wanted all this stuff. We gave her discounts on everything, right? On almost everything we did, we gave her discounts, right? Gave her discounts, work with her son. She's like, well, why can't you play this music? And why can't you play this and play that? And I'm like, well, this music has cursing in it. We don't play this. So why can't you find it without cursing? Like, it's not there. I don't have it without cursing, right? So all this stuff leading up to it was just a mess, right? Her husband's kind of like just hands off, chill. So we get to the event. During the event starts an hour late, right? Event starts an hour late. She gets there. She's going all nuts and crazy. During the event, the kids want to hear a song. She's like, stop the song, play with, she wants to hear, her and her friends were like, this is a kid's party, but we got to keep her happy too, right? So the whole time, she's like attitude the whole time. Never seen her smile or nothing, never friendly, anything. At the end, she asked us to stay an extra hour because we started an hour late. We're like, well, normally we'll charge you for the full hour, but we'll give you a half hour credit. She's like, oh my gosh, she's like, whatever, just whatever, I'll pay for it later, right? I'm like, okay, cool. So we do the party. It's great. Everyone has a great time. Mind you, the whole time she's drinking. She's always drinking. She didn't. Usually we don't leave without payment, right? And she's like, I'll send it to you. I don't have my checkbook right now. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. And me and my partner was like, yo, do you want to just like press this lady? We were like, you know what? Let's just go. I was like, let's just go. 3 weeks later, not only did she pay that, but she gave us a $300 tip.
Wow.
And I was shocked. So I talked to the party planner. I'm like, yo, I thought this lady was upset. I was talking to the party planner who like introduced us to the lady. And I was like, what's going on? She was like, the lady's an alcoholic. It was like, if she's drinking, she's evil. But if she's sober, she's nice.
Oh man, I love human beings, dude. I love human beings.
She tipped for the inconvenience of her attitude.
Yeah,
I think you already knew what it was.
She already knew.
Okay, cool. Annalisa, let me ask you this. And I'm gonna ask you the same thing, Chaz. If I'm a customer, right? And if there's anybody who doesn't tip, there's anybody who's out there who doesn't tip, I'm asking this question for you. Maybe it might change your perspective. If I'm a tipper and I'm a big tipper, because you guys definitely know who's the big tipper. You guys know your customers. If I'm a big tipper, do I get special services? I'm going to start with you, Annalisa.
Oh,
okay.
For sure. I mean, and it's not like, I don't know. Part of it is kindness, and part of it is if you know that somebody, we say tip means to ensure proper service.
Right.
If you know we're going to give you before their food comes out, yeah, that's the bag you're going to triple check. That's the bag you're going to make sure everything's right. Maybe throw in a free dessert here and there, because a $100 tip changes your whole night. And yes, for me as an owner, for my girls to get that kind of money, I'll definitely throw in a peach cobbler.
Mm-hmm. And see, that's amazing. That's amazing to hear you say that, because the tip doesn't, and I'm assuming the tip doesn't necessarily go to you. That goes to your server, right?
Right.
That's
the girls
what's up.
Packing, everybody up front that's working there, and we do tip out the kitchen as well. So sometimes they only make it an extra. I'm not talking about the servers, but like the kitchen, maybe an extra $10 a night. But a little $10 here and there, you're good.
It all adds up. Definitely, absolutely. Chad, same question to you. If I come to your restaurant and I'm known as, oh, that's Brandon, he tips real good. You guys are gonna treat me a lot differently, right?
100%. And because one, you built that relationship with the customer, and you know he tips well, so you apply that, above and beyond for that customer. And usually, like us bar owner or us restaurant or bar owners, we know who those are, and we, as a gratitude, I'll come give a free drink, a free meal once in a while because they're regulars, a shot with them for thanking them, because now it's you built that relationship. It's all about relationships with your customers. So yes, we do go above and beyond for certain individuals and discount them. It really evens out at the end of the day because of how much that restaurant discounts that individual or multiple individuals that tip that well as a thank you. And it doesn't go to us owners at all. Say if I know our customers coming in and they don't tip good, I ensure they get a good server that will attend them the way they want. And I usually take the bad tippers because I don't want my servers being heartbroken at the end of the night. And we know.
Wait a minute, Chaz. Wait a minute. You guys, you restaurant owners and servers, you guys already know, like, oh, this person doesn't tip. This person does tip.
The minute they walk in the door.
Yep.
Wow.
The minute they walk in the door.
It's the same thing when we used to work at Home Depot. Like, you knew what customers were a-holes and what customers were true, like, good. So you can build, how to identify them. And a lot of these regulars that come in after, weeks of them coming in, you see their trend on the tipping. So it's like, and honestly, it's a lot of people out there don't know about on the gratitude, the certain percentages, and it's a lot of the younger and the older class. More like I say around 28 to like 40-ish, those usually take care of their servers, percentage wise. But the younger and the older, the older, that 70 plus, back then, one minimum wage was so cheap, cost of living was so cheap, and a quarter, a nickel was a lot to them. So they still have that mentality. And this younger,
they know better now. Don't let them fool you.
And this new generation, it just, come on now, this new generation, it just doesn't care as much from my account, like me accounting them, like taking care of them. Because a lot of times the 18 or younger ones come in, they don't tip.
So as restaurant owners, let me get to my journalism mode. Good journalism mode. As restaurant owners, if people don't tip, in your case, Chaz, does it hurt you more as a restaurant owner?
As a restaurant owner, no. Because we make our revenue off our product.
Got you.
Okay. But it hurts the individual that you're stiffing.
Got you. Annalisa, to you, as a restaurant owner in California, if I don't tip, does that hurt you as an owner? Or does it hurt
me as an owner because people want to work for you when they know your customers tip well.
Gotcha.
And you get really good service.
That's a good point.
If you go to a high-end restaurant and their service is known for being great, you're going to get big tippers.
Gotcha.
And people follow trends. So big tippers usually hang out with other big tippers.
Gotcha.
You know
well, see, I always thought tipping was a social thing, and I'm guilty of it. If I'm hanging out with all three of you guys and you guys tip $5, $10, $20, whatever, I'm gonna be like, damn, I got a tip, because I don't want to be the one guy that's like, oh, you know what I mean? Yeah. Let me ask you this. I'm gonna start with you, Benzi. Let me ask you this. Do you think every service job deserves a tip? And I'm gonna start with, I'm just gonna throw one out there. A barber.
Oh, that's a good one.
A barber deserves a tip?
I think a barber deserves a tip. I tip my barber.
Why? Please explain.
Because a barber, I've seen it done. I've seen a barber do 2 haircuts for 2 different people, and when they know they're not getting a tip for, they rush through it. They're gonna do the basics, they're gonna get you out of there. But someone that they take time with, they might go in, they might pull some ingrown hair. They might, put the hot towel around your face. They take their time on the edge up lineup.
It's the same thing across the board.
Yep, they're gonna give you get what you pay for.
He's right.
Okay, so now here we go. Now I gotta be real. I don't mind tipping someone who's serving my food. I'll do that. I'll tip Chaz, and listen, I'll tip your servers, no problem. But Benzi, if you're charging me $30 or $40 to cut my hair, I expect you to put a hot rag on my face. I expect you to brush my hair. I expect you to do the works. I expect some great conversation if I choose to talk to you. I expect it for $30, $40. It's like, yo, if what I'm saying is this, when it comes to that type of service job, if I have to pay you $50 and then let me pay, I don't mind paying $50, but I expect all that to come along. I don't think I should have to tip you if you're doing a $50 worth haircut. You kind of understand what, like, you get what
I understand, but you don't have to tip. I mean, you don't have to tip, but they take
you do when your barber has that little blast that's in the background that says tips. You got that.
Hey, all I know is they take good care of you. This is my face, this is my hair. I want you to take good care of it. I want you to take good care of it every single time I come in. I want you to see me and know, oh, he's gonna give me a tip. I'm gonna take good care of him. You know, sometimes I tip my barber more.
Their barbers.
Oh yeah,
I'm very. You're absolutely right, and I'm
They're
very
loyal to their barber.
You absolutely right. I'm probably more loyal to my barber than I am with my woman. That is very true.
I believe that.
I told my barber that too.
That is very true. Look, that's how the barber works. Okay, so Annalisa, let me ask you this: when you get your nails done or whatever, whatever it is you do you tip them as well?
I do, but there's a standard tip, and there's I put a little bit more effort into the massage.
Did we lose her?
We lost her. She'll be back. Chaz, with you.
Your barber one. Let me piggyback on that. All right.
Okay.
So I'm very picky with my face and my head. I search barbers everywhere, and once you find that barber that, that takes care of you in a certain way, that come on now, us guys know how picky we are with our head and our beard.
Absolutely.
So every time I ask for an appointment, he puts me first in line, regardless it's a last minute or a week, 2 weeks out. Always puts me ahead of line. He always takes his time with me, knowing that I'm gonna give him $10 to $15 to $20. My haircuts are $30 here. Thank you for not living in California anymore.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Your haircuts are $30 in Wisconsin?
Well, that's what happens when you live in California, my boy.
No, listen, Chaz. In California, to me, $30 is expensive. Well, but I also understand our minimum wage is a little higher. But out there in Wisconsin, he better be.
He charges me $30 for a basic haircut. I get a taper, I get a fade. He does my beard, he shaves me. He cuts my back hairs. He does.
Does he massage your head and all that?
All that stuff.
Okay.
But the thing is, he knows I'm gonna tip him. But as a thank you, we forget this. Our parents raised us to thank individuals. So as a thank you, that's the best way you can thank an individual for going above beyond for their service. And that's why I do it. And not only that, if I tip, I am expecting last minute phone call. Hey, you got 8 o'clock appointment. Hey, let me push this guy. I'll bring you in, because how much money I tip him. I'm paying for that service as well. So it can go a long way. It can go different revenues on. If you don't, I'm sure you probably be the last one he gonna cut, and it's just gonna be a basic. And he's like, "Hey, out. I gotta close."
Right.
Get it out. All right. Let me throw a monkey wrench in. Let me throw a monkey wrench in the conversation. Annalisa, I'm gonna start with you. Is there any service job that you think does not deserve a tip?
Ooh.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know, because there's probably a million service jobs that I'm aware of. I will tell you this: I don't typically tip valets.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
And that's because you don't get to choose the price of the valet. You can go to one valet, it's $7. You can go to one valet, it's $20. So maybe if you're the $5 valet, I'll do it. But if you're the $20 valet, I'm not.
Okay, so when you go to Vegas,
Yes.
you're not going to tip that valet guy?
Oh yeah, in Vegas you have to.
Oh yeah, the valet is free.
But see,
Yeah,
It's
and you'll never see your car if you don't tip that valet.
100%.
Straight up.
That car will be gone.
Because that 5 to 7 minutes will turn into 30 to 45 minutes.
absolutely, absolutely. Benzi, is there
Yeah.
any service job that you could think of that you'd be like, you know what, I'm not gonna tip him?
Not that I can think. I mean, I think just out of the situation, probably like my gardener that comes. I know back in the day when I at home, when I lived at home, pool guy, they didn't get tipped. I think it was just because they kind of just come out and do their job and then they go, and you don't really interact with them like that. But
Wait a minute. Hold on. Not to cut you off. You don't tip your gardener?
I don't see them.
Okay.
I don't see them.
I'll take that.
They come during the day, I'm gone.
He's keeping your property value up. I would think that you would want to tip him.
I probably should. You're right. I probably should.
You know what? I think there's an argument to that. If you're a business owner and you're the one doing the services, I don't think you tip as much as if you do if it's a company and you're one of the workers.
Yeah,
okay,
that's true.
I give you that.
If you're the pool guy and you're charging $50 an hour to clean somebody's pool, on top of that, I don't really think you need a tip. Now, if you're the pool guy working for somebody and you're making $14 an hour, then you deserve the tip.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Right.
Hold on. So, Annalisa,
I don't care if my customers tip me, but I want them to tip my servers.
Okay, that's what I was going to get to. There's never been a situation where somebody's called off and you had to run the restaurant and serve?
Definitely.
And you don't care if you get a tip?
I do it every day. I'm in the front of my restaurant every day. I get
that is
drinks,
very true.
I pack bags. I wipe down tables.
That is very true.
As hard as my girls. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'd like to think I'm making more than minimum wage.
That is very true. Chaz, is there any service job that you can think of that's like, you know what, I'm not tipping you?
None I could think of, but say like his gardener or his pool person, anything like that. There's different, like how we had this conversation in chat one night about you're a school teacher and you should deserve a tip. There's different ways to show your gratitude, and that could be considered as a tip as well. It's like, sending like a little something, a little arrangement on a holiday to that gardener's family and that company as a thank you. That's a tip. That's saying thank you for the service. There's different ways to take care of the way they take care of you without just giving them money.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. And some know, but a lot of people who don't know, I do work with kids and I do love when my parents, I'll accept that. That makes me feel rejuvenated to deal with your badass kid is when you come tip me, when you come be like, yo, here goes some Clorox wipes. Here go this, that. I'll be like, you know what? Your kid can stay in the program a week longer because you know what I'm saying? So I just, and that's what's up. Okay, Benzi.
Yeah.
Before we wrap out of here, I'm gonna start off with you. Overall tipping, tell people why they should tip.
It's pretty simple. Tipping is just ensuring that you get the best quality service and you show your appreciation to someone that's going above and beyond the basics to make sure that you have the best experience possible when receiving a service.
Absolutely. Chaz, why should I tip?
To be thankful for putting up with you, dealing with you. Because a lot of times customers are just assholes, and so it's like, if you want to be an asshole, tip someone for you being an asshole to put up with that. But it's just being thankful. It's just the gratitude of being human, thanking someone else for their service. That's all it is.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Annalisa, why should I tip? Where's she at it? All right, you got it. There you go. Annalisa, you still with us? I think she's trying to click onto her service. Hey, Chaz, before I get to her, I really, I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start writing on the receipt. At the bottom of the receipt was like, yo, I'm only tipping you 10%. because, yada, yada this, yada, yada that. I started off with 20%, but because of your service, I dropped to 10%. I kind of think that's offensive. You don't think that's a bit offensive?
Hey, I'd be pissed if I was a waiter.
Hey, yo, Benzi, I would be hot if I seen the receipt that said I started off at 20%, but because of your lack of knowledge, I dropped down to 10%. I'll be like, yo,
you have to be professional and respectful about it too. But the thing is, how many customers you see right on the receipt saying thank you for your service? You were awesome. You were the best. You kicked ass. A lot of customers do that to servers as a thank you as well. So it can go both ways as that. If the owner or the management is not training someone properly and they think it's okay, as a customer, it is your duty to tell the server, hey, this and this and this, you didn't do this, or you could have done this better, because all servers are like literally hustlers. They hustling for their money. They're a legal hustler. Pretty much that's how it is now.
Especially, hey, Brandon, can I ask Chaz a question?
Yes, yeah, sir. Go ahead, shoot it.
Hey, Chaz, you know what I don't like though, man, as someone that goes to restaurants, and I'm a good tipper. I don't like that added gratuity that they add on there automatically. Like, I'm like, oh man, I want to tip more, but y'all done already add this gratuity. I'm not tipping no more because y'all want to dictate what I got.
Great question.
I can actually can comment on that. A lot of restaurants add a certain percentage gratuity on big tables. It's because on big tables, you literally going above and beyond for that party. And a lot of times, it's up to the restaurant on certain restaurants to do that. It's up to the restaurant to do that. It just doesn't come automatically. And the reason why is to ensure the server is taken care of regardless of the outcome. And if you didn't agree with the 20% gratuity because it was just horrible service, then bring it up to the owner and the manager and they have them take it out. But if you believe
wait, Chaz, let me stop you. You've been dropping bombs all night. It is legal for me to tell the owner or the manager that, hey, I thought my service was bad. I do not want to pay for this added in gratuity.
Is that your right? Yes, it is.
Wow.
But if you feel like the server took and the restaurant went above beyond, and you want to give more than 20%, then give it. Don't get offensive because they put it on your bill. But if you want to take care of them, then go above beyond, just like how you would apply it to your customers and take care of the customer.
Absolutely.
You still have the option to do it, but if it was just crappy service and you don't want to pay that, and you have a right to argue it. 100%.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Annalisa, are you still with us? Annalisa, listen, if you guys are ever in LA, it's legit. She runs a soul food business. It's legit. I don't know if she has on the menu her chili. That's how I knew. That's how she won me over as a customer. She has this chili that's like, man, fire. Fire. And it's like, yo, so Annalisa, are you still there with us?
She's waving.
I think she has her mic on mute.
Your mic is on mute.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm here.
All right, there you go. It's all good.
So do you guys tip strippers?
Ooh.
That's a great question.
We got to, right?
That's a great question.
No,
that's
honestly,
a great question.
When I used to go to strip clubs, I would tip the strippers that did something better than just shake their butt. Like, show me some tricks, do some somersaults, like hang from the ceiling, do something that other strippers don't do.
But
do something amazing.
That's my
point. You feel special, right?
If you're in the industry, when you do something somebody else doesn't do, like great customer service, then you deserve a tip. If you're very average and whatever, I don't think you should tip everybody. That's not good, but I think you should tip for what they deserve. But for a person, and you guys all know if you're running a waitress around, I need this. Every time she walks out, you got another question. Like, just line them up and give them to her all at once. People know
sidebar. I can't stand those type of people.
Me too.
Listen, if I ever take a
Neither
girl
can
out on a
We
date,
don't like those people.
yo, if I ever take a girl out on a date and she's one of those people that's just super rude to the server, that would be the last date. I strongly, that is a pet peeve for me. Is that you're like super, because I'm the type like, yo, if I ordered pepperoni pizza and you forgot the cheese and you only bought pepperonis, fuck it, it's cool. I ain't tripping. You know what I mean? So
Wait, hey, someone forgot the cheese on pepperoni pizza, man. We don't know
I'm just gonna eat this. I'm gonna eat this. Hey, Annalisa, hey, real quick. This is what I asked them. Why should I tip?
To ensure proper service.
Okay, well, Annalisa is straight to the point to ensure, hey, cut draw. And I agree, to ensure proper service. So you're saying if I don't tip, I'm not gonna get proper service?
No, I think you're gonna. But the word is ensure. We're gonna pack your bag. We're gonna put forks and knives and everything in there. But when you're good and we know you're good, we're gonna double check, like he said. For our sake, throw in a peach cobbler, maybe get you a drink. Next time you come in, treat your friends to drink. People like that. People like to feel like they're a part of things. My customers love it when they walk in. I'm like, hey, Brizzy, what's up?
You are. Hey, you are very. Your grading is top notch. I will admit to that. It does make you feel. It does make you feel special. It does. I give you that.
People like to be recognized.
That is that. Hey, that is a fact. People love it. People love for you to walk in. Hey, Brandon's here. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You just jumped to the 25% tip. Keep it up. All right, real quick before we get out of here, Benzi, how can if people want to hire you as a DJ or any of your entertainment, how can they reach out to you?
You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, DJ at DJ_on Swole. DJ on Swole.
DJ on Swole, like, okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I love it. Chaz, give us the name of your restaurant and how can we find you if we're in Wisconsin?
You can look us up. We're on Google. We're on Instagram and Facebook at Els Pigs Butt BBQ. It's the easiest way to tell you the truth.
Chaz, real quick, because when you sent me over the name as a comedian, just jokes just.
Oh, I know.
give us the backstory of the name.
Okay,
Els Pigs
Butt. When we started this business, we went into a co-founder with a family member, and that's what his name that he always wanted to do. And my girl came up with the logo, and my friends back in Texas did the whole graphic design and put everything together. But it's just we literally took us about 7 months to figure out a name. It's really hard to get a unique name that stand out. And you got all these jokes. That means it stood out to you. So I did my best.
I was like Els Pigs Butts, like yo, okay. Because for people who don't know, a lot of the meat that you love to eat comes from that whole pig. I got it. Annalisa.
Yes, sir.
How can people come taste your delicious soul food?
They can follow us on Instagram at souldeliciousla. And we're at 1066 South Fairfax.
Okay.
And right now we're open Thursday through Sunday.
Okay. Now, do you have the chili on the menu?
I don't right now, but I have gumbo and barbecue beef ribs this weekend.
Okay. Hey, listen, I'm trying to tell y'all. Listen, that chili, I know for a fact. Hey, listen, I've tasted other things, but she knows. She knows. I tasted the chili outside of her restaurant, but she knows that chili is like it's bomb. Hey, listen, y'all. Hey, I appreciate y'all for jumping on here. I know you guys have a busy schedule, you jumping, and I appreciate that. I hope that every listener, if you're not a tipper, you will now tip. For the most part, a lot of people do tip. It was just me. Like I said, I do tip. I just always felt like, why am I tipping you? Why am I tipping you? Why am I tipping you for your? This is what you signed up to do. But listening to you guys broke it down to me, and I appreciate that. Signing off. Follow. This will be on YouTube. If you want to tell your people to, follow the YouTube, I'll send you guys the link. And I appreciate it, man. You guys stay safe. I hope that your guys' businesses continue to flourish. Much love.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
All right, y'all.